The FC26 holiday patch is out, and what better time to give you guys an update on what my current gameplay settings and controller settings are. The shot, I have it unassisted. The reason why I have it unassisted is because I feel that FC26, the shooting is way better than what it used to be. I do like precision shooting. My issue with precision shooting is that if you have, let's say, a bronze card, and it might be up to your advantage, right? It could be an advantage. Let's say you pick up a bronze card. The bronze card has 70 shot power. With precision shooting, that becomes 90 or even 95 shot power, because precision shooting boosts the shot power. But the assistance in terms of like where you're gonna aim, it is more precise because it takes into consideration your aim. So it's like semi aimed or semi assisted. So it's not fully assisted compared to assisted, where you pick an angle and it's just gonna, the AI is gonna do the best that it can to place the ball where you think, where it thinks it should go. And for the most part, in my opinion, it's always accurate. Okay, there are times in bad gameplay that it might not choose the perfect angle, but the same thing goes for precision shooting. There are times that you don't aim correctly and the ball goes out of the stadium. So I'm gonna stay unassisted. The through pass on semi, all this stuff you guys already know about. I'm just gonna go over the things that I tested. Like, for example, I tested the late and animation start. The animation start, the issue I had with this was that it locks onto a player. It made the passing more accurate, all my passes connected, but that's because everything was locked ahead of time. But because of how advanced I am as a player, I noticed other open players, other open teammates, and I wanted to switch, or I wanted to change my mind and pass it to somebody else who was in a better, had a better angle, had a better run, had a better, more open space, and I couldn't do that. There were times I would lock on to a player and I don't even know I'm locking onto that player, and I'm like, the pass connects, it gets to the ball carrier. I didn't even aim to that guy, but it connects. So I'm guessing if you have really bad delay, this could help you out a lot. But late, honestly, is still king, is still the best. Another thing I tested was advanced defending and tactical. Tactical was totally fine. There were times though where I wanted to do a shoulder barge. I wanted to bruise. I'm the type that just likes to bruise first before making a tackle. So the problem here was, for me, in FC26, you can run after your opponent and spam the bruiser button all you want. You don't need bruiser. You just need either aggression and strength, and you will get the ball back. With advanced defending, with tactical defending, you can't do that, because the moment you press tackle, the tackle button, you're done. If you missed, you're done. But with advanced defending, I can chase you the entire match. I can just mirror all your movement, left, right, wherever you're going. I'm chasing you, I'm shadowing you, and I'm just spamming. For me, I think it's B. I'm spamming B on the Xbox, I think, and X for you guys on the PlayStation controllers. So that's what I've noticed right away. So from tactical, advanced defending, in my opinion, is king. You just have to be a little bit more advanced when it comes down to your defending, to your manual defending. So advanced defending, I feel like it rewards more of the manual defending aspect of the game. Okay, if you want the AI to dictate which type of tackle, which type of animation comes out, that's perfectly fine. But just know that the meta, in my opinion, even though I'm against the meta, but the meta is to chase your opponent and spam the bruiser button. Even if you don't have bruiser, you will still win the ball. Another one, this one was a big issue for me, and it still is. It's one of the most annoying thing. I can't believe like the community does not know about this. None of the other content creators, no one is talking about this. And I think maybe like saw one person mention this. It was a pro player, and I like the auto switching to be on manual. The problem with this is like you always have to remember. So it's like a muscle memory where you have to retrain your brain to remember to auto switch. So that's the issue with that. But when you manual like the auto switching on manual, it helps you tremendously to high press your opponent. Because when you have it on this, air balls and loose balls, there's like this weird restriction. And also when your opponent does a certain lob or lofted pass, or your keeper, your opponent's keeper is throwing the ball, whatever player you have selected, it just removes a cursor and it selects the player that where the ball is going to land. And that's really annoying because if I'm trying to press my opponent, if I'm trying to double press or double man press, and it switched the cursor off, now I can't double man press. So that's the issue I have with this. I kept it on this for now because it only comes up, the issue only comes up when my opponent is doing like some type of lofted ball, but it's very, very annoying. It even does it on corner kicks, or crosses. When your opponent is crossing the ball, it auto switches for some reason to where the AI thinks the ball is going to land, and it totally messes you like your timing and everything off. And I think that's why a lot of people are conceding. A lot of people concede on corners, like especially when there's the ball's in the air. Ball relative, my right stick switching reference is always going to be on ball relative compared to player relative, and you guys already know the reason. And the simple reason is I want to focus my player switching on everything that's nearest to the ball. Any action, any player that is closest to the ball, I want to be able to switch to them. I don't want to have to worry about anybody else. And it doesn't mean that you can't select other players, like a secondary layer of that player. You can if you right stick switch again, but the reference is more of an accurate right stick switching, like 100%. If you are on player relative, it's gonna be weird switching to ball relative, but when you're on ball relative and go back to player relative, which is what I did for a full weekend league, it was horrendous for me. Okay, it is great in terms of like if you want to anticipate a play, if you want to right stick switch to, you know, any players on the pitch, you can do that. But the way FC is set up this year, guys, like people are countering you so fast, you don't have time to do any of that. So you want to switch to the players as fast as possible. Next, player switching closest to the ball. This is a no-brainer. If you hit that player switch button, I think it's L1, you want the switching to happen to the player that's nearest the ball. You don't want it to go to classic. You don't want it to go to goal side. You want it to go to closest to the ball, because that's where the danger is. You're after the ball. You know, my camera angle is telly. I love telly. The only problem with telly is it has some blind spots. So you have to be really good at looking at the mini map. And then we go to custom, and the height is at 20 and the zoom is at 0. Another one that I recommend is telebroadcast, and then you have to play around. You have to play around with these because everybody's monitor, everybody's TV is different. Although I don't recommend you guys play on a TV. Playing on a TV and you want to be competitive is a no-no. You need a monitor. You need high refresh rate, at least like 144. 240 should be probably the minimum now. Honestly, 240, 180 maybe of a monitor. So it just depends on your monitor. It should be 24, it should be 27. Please don't do 30, 32, 20. Like those things are not the pro standards. Okay. Co-op, you could do co-op. I just feel like it's too far. And then you can also play around with the height and zoom too. It's up to you. But I feel like it's too far. I need to see more of the players, you know, so I can defend. I feel like it makes you a better defender when you can actually see the action happening in front of you. Visual, I'm not gonna go into this, but yeah, I'm not gonna go too much into this. I mean, I can just scroll right through it so you guys can see it, pause it, and see what I have on and the reason why I have it on. I mean, there's really no reason, but there's a reason, but I'm not gonna go over into it because it is pretty long. We'll be here all day. Audio, when I do stream, sometimes I don't stream anymore because this game is really not streamable, to be honest with you. And I feel bad for all the people that have to stream it because it's their job, it's their duty and all that. But if I don't want to stream, I don't stream, because that's how the game is. One day is good, one day is bad. It's horrible. Okay, for the accessibility, brightness, all that stuff you can play around with. Main menu video turned off just to not add more stress to my PC. My PC can handle it, but I don't need no videos and things playing on my screen, so I have it off. What else? Player shadows. I turn this on and off depending on what type of gameplay I'm dealing with. I'll pause and I'll go in accessibility and turn player shadows on and off. It does help. But when the game feels weird, the gameplay will feel weird no matter what you do, but it does help a lot in terms of like player animations. But the input might still have an issue because, like I said, when gameplay is bad, gameplay is bad. I know some people asked about text to speech. I mean, this is where you find it pretty much. Narration, text to speech, and then speech text, whatever. You can turn all these off if you don't need it. The display, borderless because I record most of my gameplay. Whenever I'm playing, I'm recording gameplay with OBS, so borderless is best for that. Less stress on your PC. It's also good for streaming. If you put it on full screen is if you're not streaming and if you're not recording content. This is for PC. Also, you can use it on borderless regardless if you have like a really high-end monitor. If your monitor has like 300 refresh rate or higher, you can definitely play the game on borderless the entire time without having to put it on full screen. So yeah, so my full screen is always on 1080. I have a 180 hertz monitor. My refresh rate is unlimited because my GPU actually pushes up to 300 FPS. So there are times where my FPS when I'm on what is that called? When I'm on full screen, my GPU pushes up to 300. But because my monitor is set to 180, my monitor doesn't push more than 180. It can go up to 270, 250. The minimum is like 250 FPS when I have it on full screen. On this, it just goes to 180 and it doesn't, it just never changes because that's what matches my monitor. VSync is off for the simple fact that my refresh rate matches my monitor, so I don't need them to match each other for it to work. Like I have a good monitor enough to display enough frame rate. But something that you can do, you can kind of limit it to like 144 or 120. I've read things on Reddit where it helps people set it to 120 and it works. 144, just set it under right under the monitor refresh rate. Supposedly it helps with less jitters, like just little slight jitters. Half frame rate on the cutscenes. Don't care about the frame rate. The cutscenes, whatever. The render scale, you can put this like 95 or 90 if you want to, but it adds a little bit of pixelation to your characters, to your players, so it doesn't look that appealing. But if you don't care about that stuff, then the lower the better, I guess. So right now it shows that it's on low, but it's supposed to be on medium, and I don't think they fixed this. It's still broken, to be honest with you. This is supposed to be on custom, then medium, then here we go to grass quality. I keep it on medium. I don't mind the grass quality. It doesn't make a difference between the two, and you can see the GPU, CPU is like very moderate. It doesn't do much damage, so I keep it on medium. The crowd quality is set to low. It's not really important to see the crowd, like whether they're like full, high end or whatever. If you're playing career mode, maybe it's good for that, but otherwise just keep it on low. This too, cloth quality, keep it on low. As you can see, the CPU starts to go crazy in certain situation. I can have it on high and have no problems, but I rather just have everything on low, especially if I'm streaming. And then the ambient occlusion, I don't really care what the game looks like per se, because it's online, it's competitive. If I was playing career mode, all this stuff would probably be on ultra or something with ray tracing and all that, but it's online, so you want to have the least possible stress on your PC. And then motion blur is off. And I think that's it for the settings after the winter patch update